And we are live. I welcome any and everybody who comes in and joins us today. My name, as always, is Brittany Dotson, aka Embria Arts. We are here to do another OC requested drawing on our Saturday Dining and Doodles. So today's request is different than the last few, because the last two we did were kind of gigantic, so we changed difference with sizes. This time it's a normal sized character. But we had an issue a little bit that I had to get some more details from the person when they wanted this creation to get an idea of what they looked like. So we're going to go through and you're going to see what I had to work from, what I used for reference, and also we're going to go from there. So let's get on over to the art for the day. Hello. All right. Now, as you can see, I've got a couple different drawings, or a couple of different things here. I have the sketch that I've already started. So we have a sketch of the girl here. This is the requested girl that we have right here. This is what we had to work with. So one of the things they wanted, or they noted, is they are on a unicycle. So I looked up girl with unicycle. So this is a photo reference that I'm using here. And when you do a photo reference, it's always good to get an idea of sort of the skeletal structure. So that's what you see here through this drawing. You see these little circles here and this line here. That is the base of the skeletal structure. So if I actually faded this down to, well, wrong one here, to that's my skeletal structure I'm working from. And because we're also working with machine, in the case of the unicycle, we have a picture of a unicycle to reference from. And it's relatively the same unicycle that's in the picture, and it's going to be about the same that I'm going to be using from. I don't know if there's any like fancier, well, there's electronic ones that I've been seeing and all that kind of stuff, but this was I think more the idea is she's sort of a jester character, so we're working from there. So one of the things I did is I put in this sketch, and I kind of wanted to get a different feel of her body and how it weights work on her, and we'll go from there. So today we're going to be doing this drawing. One of the things I want to start with is going to be the unicycle, because it's going to be the more challenging part. But it's also because it's going to be sort of a layered part here. So actually I'm going to have 3 layers to work from. So this is going to be my bottom layer, which this last leg here is going to come down from. This is going to be my middle layer, which we're going to put the unicycle on, and this is going to be our front layer. So we're going to try and work this out as we go. And one of the first parts I want to do with the middle layer is get these circles going. So we're going to try and get these circles going for the wheel. So just going to use a simple tool here, and actually what I'm going to do is copy and paste so we get a uniform look to this circle, and then we can edit transform. And that way we're getting something that's a little bit more uniform to the look. And we can just merge the layers as we go, but we're going to do another copy paste, work our way down. I'm not going to worry too much about the spokes. That'll be sort of like a last minute thing. We can actually even do a duplicate layer here, edit, transform, scale. Once again, alter our size down and up, try to do it somewhat uniformly. And that way we get a uniform look to this wheel. And that's one of the sort of the key points is with this drawing is we're going to make sure that we have this machine and this human form work together. So what we're going to be doing here And as always, these are requests put in. We have people that do requests here on the stream, and we also have people who do requests through our DeviantArt page and through other sections. If you follow us on DeviantArt, we currently have the Drawtober going on. So we're actually going to see, which is our thing with Inktober. Instead of doing Inktober this year, we're doing Drawtober. And I have been putting out quite a few pieces. So, I mean, it's new art pretty much every day for the next, or for the whole month, pretty much. I'm almost halfway through the art for the month. The main issue with it is I've been not well. And I mean, sadly, unfortunately, recently my health has been up and down as of late. And a lot of it comes down to just genetics or whatnot. So, I mean, I'm a little bit further behind than I would like to, is what I'm saying. I tend to actually, when I did these in the past, I would tend to give a weeks ahead time to do it. Just sipping some hot chocolate because I'm trying to wake myself up a bit. But yeah, I mean, I'll take on a drawing. I'll try a challenge like that. I try to get about a week's ahead. That way I have methods to work on other projects. Unfortunately, because of health issues, because of other life issues going on, I've not been able to get as far as I'd like to in there. I'm not going to worry too much about the pedal because I'm going to try and draw the foot and then bring the pedal in. But I do want to sort of match, even though I have the foot down there, I kind of want to match that. It needs to be down here. So we're going to have to move the foot down some. So, we're on transparent here. Let's see. Undo that little nudge. We kind of want to reverse it. I'm just going to sort of curve that end in. And then you'd have the pedal sort of blocking it on this end. So, I mean, it's very simple, but I mean, a unicycle is a very simple machine. It literally has no chains. It just is pedals on a wheel with a spoke. So, I mean, it's fairly simple design, fairly simple build. I assume. I've never built one, but I don't see it being that complex of a built product. I mean, I could be talking out of my ass on that, but people who have built one, let me know. Let me know how accurate am I, if it's simple or not. The key here is to get sort of the idea of where the seat's going to be, which actually from where we are now is actually going to be coming up here. So it's going to be a little bit different. We initially drew the sketch. It came out there. The line's going to be closer in towards her thigh. Now, the drawing here, I had to ask a few questions. I had to ask, is it male or female? Because it's kind of hard to tell. It looks like there's a breast here in the design. But I don't want to make assumptions these days being trans myself, I can't, say, oh, well, maybe they're not male. Maybe they're trying to be male, or maybe they're trying to be female. I don't know. But it's best just to ask and just be like, hey, how do you want this? Do they want to look female? Do they want the look to be this way? And especially when you get a black and white like this, and you usually do color, which we're going to do color today. Another good question, and I asked the person this: what kind of colors you want? What do you want to be like the focus of the colors? So they chose blue and red. So we're going to make the colors primarily blue and red. This is going to be just sort of a setup of the seat. I'm just doing a little bit of giving it some depth by giving it sort of that under look to it. This week, as far as anything of note, I've, like I said, I've been focusing on Drawtober a lot this week. Trying to get that going and out the door. I've hit snag characters, and I mean, that's one of the things I kind of want to talk about today. There are some characters that are very, very difficult to draw. And it's not so much their look in general, but their look, if you ask for, say, I want this particular look of them, it sometimes is very, very difficult. And I had two of them back to back that I've been doing today. One of which is Asana from SAO. Normally, she's not that difficult to draw. Her most difficult thing in a normal look is her hair. But if you go into one of her outfits, especially the more further you go in the drawing process of her, her outfits have so much detail, so much little tiny things about it. It's a pain in the ass. It's a real pain in the ass to draw her. I tried to give some detail when I'm doing a comic that is SAO featured. It is called Night of the Monsters. It is based off of somebody's fan fiction. So we're writing. I'm not having to write it, but I'm taking it and I'm drawing it through. And when I draw Asana, or designed Asana in that comic, the idea was she's going to be in Halloween. She was going to be dressed as a witch. So it's like, well, let me do a witch as Asana would design it. So I went with a design, but I kind of went with one that would give you an uneasiness of Asana in it. Because the idea of the comic is it's not Asana, it's a monster. So I designed sort of a sexy, sort of anime looking witch outfit, which was sort of a cross between a bathing suit and, I guess, lingerie a bit. And that's sort of what I went with her. But today I had to draw one of her video game uniforms. So it was a uniform for one of the SAO video games. In a video game, you tend to work with a 3D model. And it is a pain to draw it. I have respect for any 2D animators that have to draw Asana. And draw those outfits, because, my God, I hate them. The detail of the doily-like moments on her armor. It's... I love the character, hate the design. Although, I mean, at the same time, I I do love the character. I love the idea of Asuna. I don't like how she is portrayed in the series. Sadly, uh, I I mean, I probably should check out the progressive, but I'm not really into it at this point. Alicization was good, but at the same time, I kind of felt like it was not focusing in the right spot. And I mean, it was literally how do we stick Kirito in this story? Well, usually it's we stick him in a video game and he has to go solve the issue. And Alicization was an interesting premise. I did like the idea of having to use a virtual world to sort of mentally return somebody's brain um, to normal functions, which is what they did with Kirito. Alice in the series, and I see one of the things that's been bugging me. This shoulder's been bugging me. Um, Alice in the series is just not good from the beginning. I mean, she's your typical I'm, quote, the damsel in distress in the first part, very first part, and then she becomes the Tsundere, not Tsunade, Tsundere character of sort of like, I can do this, I don't need you around. The second part, she became a little bit better, and I think that's because they finally said, hey, let's let Kirito just piss off and be in a coma uh, for half the freaking series, which is much more enjoyed in my opinion. And then there was this whole issue of the guys breaking in, that they had to break in and that they had to go into the game, and it's like, why? I mean, it's the plot made no sense. Let's put it that way. The plot made no sense. The characters are nice. I liked the concept of SAO. I wish there was more death in SAO, to be honest. It would have been a far better, darker series, honestly, if there was more death. And then I think the numbers was like 2,000 and some people died. And it's like one hit, one life. I mean, you're dead. You're dead in that game. And I played, MMOs. You're going to get your ass killed very easily in an MMO. I mean, you got to be talking, they're doing raid groups just to fight the normal things to survive. And even then, you're going to have people die. And they weren't doing that. They were like soloing these things. It's like, no. I mean, this world was out to get you. And that's something that just bugged me with that series. Is that there was not as many deaths as there could have been in the game. And that was in the initial story. Then you go to Fairyland, which was all about somebody wanting to just lust after Asuna. And Kirito being like, no, we're not going to let you just bang her in her sleep, marry her or whatever. Because actually, the concept was to force her into marriage in her comatose state. So, I mean, I get a little bit of the concept, but the thing that I kept, and I don't know about the books because I've not read the books. What annoys me is the anime has a good antagonist, and that is Laughing Coffin. and they never seem to make Laughing Coffin really the villain. They kind of do in season 2 with the Gunglaive story arc, but they didn't even do it a good job there. They really just did not. Laughing Coffin is a good concept. You have a group of people who were in the game and who lost it, just mentally snapped, and decided to just be TPKs or in a game that was originally just going to be a, RPG, have fun. Okay, my character died, blah, blah, blah. But in this world, they're told, hey, you die, you die. And the idea of having a world where people are out to hunt you just because they have thrill of it, and there's nothing you can do to stop that, is far more interesting, in my opinion, than what SAO became. And it's kind of why I just have very little hopes for SAO in the future. If there's another series that comes out after Progressive, I don't know if I'll watch it. I don't know. Only reason I watched Alicization is because I had nothing better to do. And I think during the season, I was looking to try and find something better to watch. And I got into Alicization, and it was like, okay, let me see where this goes. And I got caught up with the concept of wanting to see what the hell Asana would do on the raft, on the turtle. And spoiler, for those who don't know what happens in Alicization, she goes into the game during a terrorist attack, which makes all the more sense. But then the terrorists go into the game during a terrorist attack on a military institution. Yeah. I had trouble believing that. For that very reason. You mean to tell me there was no military defending that base? That these guys could just get on that base, this top secret base, and start killing people, and get in there and try to steal the AI program that was being built that was Alice? You mean to tell me that that is what succeeds? And it's like, no. There's got to be something better to this. I know the guy had somewhat of a connection, or the main boss had somewhat of a connection with Laughing Coffin, but I don't think he had enough of a connection. And it was kind of like ham-fisted, like, no, this character was always there, and he's hidden away, and now he's... No. You could tell that was ham-fisted in there. They wanted to give him backstory at literally the last few minutes before they kill him off. And I don't know if that's in the anime versus the books. I can't get myself to read the SAO books. Because it's just, I'm not a power fantasy fan, and yet I watch Slime, I'll watch SAO, and both of them are power fantasies. And those who don't know what a power fantasy is, it's, I'm in this world, it's like, character, I'm in this world. I am here, I have somehow got the power to be all badass. From the get-go. SAO, to a latter point, Kirito isn't all badass from the start. But after the initial SAO, he's badass every game he goes to, because he has those skills. he takes those skills wherever he went. And I mean, part of that is just like, no, no. Look here. When I start a new game and I let people play characters in a role playing game, I'm not going to let them go, hey, can I bring over all the skills and abilities of my previous character? No. The answer is no. And then you'd have UI issues and all this thing. So I mean, I question on what was the thinking of this. I still don't like this. There's something off on this that I'm not liking, and it's right in here. Honestly, it's right in this chest cavity that I'm not liking. But I'm curious. I mean, if you have a series that you watch and you kind of don't like, but you still watch it, is there a series for you that you do that? I mean, SAO definitely is that for me. Slime is a little bit for that. I do like the second season's at least got story. I felt the first season was nothing but, hey, here's somebody new that we run into. Let me show you how powerful I am as a slime, more powerful than this person who's supposed to be more powerful than me. And it's just like, okay, yeah. Rimuru is cute and all, but yeah, it's a bit dull as a concept. I mean, I liked So I'm a Spider, So What, and that's far better, in my opinion, of the same concept of Rimuru with the power fantasy, where the spider gains more and more abilities and whatnot, but you see her gain them. She actually eats something and then levels up and does it. She just levels up really, really fast because she's a weak ass spider from the get go. But I also was intrigued with the story of Spider, where where would it go? Because you had the whole time element that was different. You had all kinds of setups in that story that was interesting to me in a new way. And I'm doing this all on the same layer, aren't I? All right, hold on. All right, when you make this kind of mistake where you want to do things on multiple layers and you screw it up, kind of like this, it's not over with. We're not done. We're not in trouble here. We just copy paste. And then we can edit from there. So that way we still have the over under. So I'm still going to have a layer below this. And we could edit out things from there. It's not the whole world. You don't have to redraw everything. I'm trying to think of what kind of shoes I want to give her because we don't see her feet in the drawing. So what we see, and this is pretty much it right here of this drawing that we see. She's sitting. There's kind of a unicycle seat here. I can't even tell if she's wearing a skirt or if that's legs or what. So we're having to guess on this. Now, one of the things they did say, they did not want the hat. So they wanted the hat removed. So we don't have the hat on her. We do have these poofy sort of sleeve things going. it looks like a black here, and it's probably going to be half black, half white, or in this case, half blue, half red. Um, with this drawing. But let's see here. We actually are going to go lower because we want to have the leg going down, kind of like she's got here in the picture. So we're going to have her foot going down. We're going to start with the leg going down here. Not worried about where the, well, let's do a layer below this so I can sketch out the foot. Because we need to redo the foot a bit here. So the foot's going to be here, going up. Leg's going to be straight, going that way. So ankle's going to be like this. Pedal's going to be like this. Pedal on this one's going to be like this. I've never ridden a unicycle, and that's why I went with the picture. I wanted to see somebody how they are balanced on it, because I have zero sense of balance. It's part of the reason why I am in bad health issues as of late. A lot of it comes down to I have compacted nerves, and those compacted nerves have affected my sense of balance. So I have no sense of balance on my, especially on my left side. And I always wondered, and it wasn't until recently we just found this out about me. I mean, there are other health issues along the way that are probably to add to it, but yeah, I mean, it's not helpful when you basically find out that the reason why you fall, the reason why you don't have a sense of balance, you get dizzy all the time, is because you don't have any control over your nervous system right there. And it's like, oh. So my nerves are all screwed the heck up. Now there are things I'm doing to try and get better with it. But even now, I mean, I know I'm using my VTuber right now. If I showed you, my left side is literally laying down across my side. My left hand and my left foot is sort of curled under. And that's because they don't really have much feeling in them right now. So they're kind of numb. If I were to draw with them, which is a task that I learned back in art college and all that, to draw with your non-dominant hand. It's a good training tool if ever you want to do drawing. My left hand sucks with drawing. I can do somewhat decent, but I suck with it. And the reason I suck with it is I have no sense of balance on that side. So there we don't have the hands drawn yet, but we do have the leg. And that was more the key here, to draw in the leg. And what I'm just going to do is grab the eraser here, change the things, and we're just going to slowly erase the lines of where the leg meets the machine. This is why we did layers. is that we can make these changes before we go in there. So erase right there, erase right there. And we can in turn do the same on the machine parts to the foot. So we go on here. Now, unfortunately, because we did a copy, we're gonna have to do it this way. So I'm gonna just sort of fade. Well, wrong line. I want to fade this one, so I can know that I'm erasing the lines that I need to. And so we just zoom in here with a faded line. And I can go, all right, I'm erasing these lines. I will have to go back and erase the lines again on that side, or on that one, but we'll do it from there. And we want to just kind of erase this line too, because this is where the bar meets. So that circle won't be there. I might make this foot a little bit better. It's not the best foot. I could do better. See, I'm erasing something that I didn't erase on the line lower layer below, so we can go there. And we can go back to layer 9 here, clean that up. Now if I darken it, we can see that this foot, the only spot I have left to do is right here. We are doing a shoe, so I don't know. I might let that stand as it is. But the ankle's got to be dealt with. The heel has got to be dealt with here. So one of the things I'm going to deal with, since it is going to be a shoe, let's erase back here. This is where our mess is, really. So if we're going to do a shoe, and this is one of the key things, when you draw something like a shoe, you need to make sure you're drawing a shoe, not a foot in a sock and then putting a heel on it. You need to make sure you're drawing it in segments, sort of. Because a shoe is going to be set up differently than a sock. And a shoe is going to be different than a foot. And the way it's drawn in is going to be different. So you just want to bring that over. Heel, we'll do some laces or something later. Comes in. Let's do, I'm trying to look at my own shoes, but my own shoes are pretty bland, actually, in design, despite being Nikes. Let's do something like this on the heel. Do another spinal link right here. We still got to do the pedal, like I said, so we're going to do that as well. So let's bring this over here so we get a little bit of vent there. We're going to erase, but I want to take that off. So we're going to erase the lines in between of the machine. And we're going to just do a simple erase right here, because we're going to put the rubber toe to the heel. Then we're going to add in the pedal. And so with the pedal, we want to kind of give it a sense of three-dimensional. So we're going to put it right there to there. And we're going to erase those lines underneath like we've been doing. So, well, okay, that's under the 7. So we're going to keep that right now. All right, now I'll erase this line, that's on 9, well, this 9, and we'll fix that. If you need to do a smaller brush tip, that's fine. Just bring it in. That's all you need to do. And we add a little bolt here for where the spoke meets, or the pedal forms. And now that we've got this shoe designed here, we can go down and design the next shoe. So, I mean, you kind of can see sort of a similar pattern of how I did with her, or how her shoe goes there. We kind of got we've got air little pockets showing up here. We'll probably do a little color into the tongue, and we'll do the laces of the shoe design. See, I really can't tell if she's got, I think it's a onesie, so I think it's going to be bare legs from here. So we're going to do it as bare legs. And it's just going to be a leotard onesie type uniform. I still don't feel right about how the chest is. I'm going to have to probably work that a bit. But we'll work from there. But we want to focus on the shoe here and then do the pedal on 7. So we want to kind of do the reverse. We're going to work from the heel out. I did kind of get the angle right with this shoe. So we're going to go from there, a little bit on the tongue here. We'll have it pop out there a little bit. We had the breather here. We'll have a breather. See, where is it about on that one? Okay, comes out and goes up. And I think there's one more on the ankle. Yeah. So it would come in right here, go up. Something simple like that makes a key difference in your character design. Just the footwear. I mean, doing the simple sock-esque shoe, it looks odd. People don't wear shoes that form to their feet. So, I mean, it's key when drawing a character to know kind of what their fashion is, a little bit. When I design characters, especially for my own series and comics, I learn what they would tend to wear, and I'll research it. I'll use examples from Demon Blade. Maya's sporty; she's going to wear sportier clothing. A little bit boyish, because she's an Snow, because she's Yuki Onna, excuse me. Because of that, she's going to have sort of loose fitting, not baggy clothing, almost a tank top, even in the dead of winters. She'll have that. Whereas Tetsu slash Tetra is more effeminate. So they will wear dresses, they'll wear skirts. So she'll I tend to put her in Mary Jane's, which are close to the sock shoes, as you can probably get. Do that more because in my head, practicality, I would not want to fight in heels. I do have it written for her to fight in heels in a upcoming chapter, and she nearly breaks her neck doing it. I mean, it's advised not to do fight in heels. There's a great live action series from Japan that came out mid 2000 that kind of tried to do sneak away with high heels in scenes, but then when they came to action scenes, there were no high heels, and that is the Cutie Honey Live. The series is finally coming out through Discotheque. I loved the series. I got to watch it. Favorite phrase, of course, is from the one character who speaks English in it throughout the series, and it is, well, the S word. It is shit. His catchphrase is literally just shit. Because something goes wrong and he always snaps and goes on a killing spree. So I mean, it's humorous, but at the same time, it's not. But throughout the series, there are fights, and Cutie Honey, if you don't know, she's a female android, for a better part of the word, that can change into different disguises and whatnot and be someone else. Well, in the live action, there are 3 of those honeys out there. So they create 2 more honeys just for the live action. And all of them are supposed to fight in heels, but when you see the fighting sections, they're in platform wedges. And the wedges have no chunk in them. So, I mean, they're just flat. And the reason being is because any other way, even the stunt doubles would break their neck doing. Because if you try to fight in heels, you are looking for a death sentence. They're not meant to run in. They're not meant to go even across sand and dirt. My first experience of going across, we wanted to go to a friend's house with some friends, and I was wearing lovely high heel boots. I love them. I still have them. They were absolutely gorgeous. They're knee-high, high-heel boots, and they look amazing. The moment I went into grass, they sunk in the grass. They sunk down deep, and I almost fell on my face, and it hurt. I was like, damn it, I got to get on the sidewalk. I'm going to break my neck doing this. And I mean, when it's an idea of practicality, I mean, it's when you get to things like that, you need to focus on the practicality of the thing. And it helps to think about that with a character design. Yeah, it looks very amazing to have a girl in high heels fight. But in all reality, it would not work. And it would not work because it would likely be super, super dangerous. I think that works a lot better. I think making her chest smaller is probably going to help. The bigger chest was not working. I need to fix her chest a little bit more there. But I think that's what was throwing me off a little bit. Let's do that. That I think will do a lot better. So, and bring that on up. But yeah, I mean, when designing a character, definitely think of their fashion. Think it, because I mean, it's part of the character. Um, Superman would be nothing without his red and blue cape, uh, or his blue short, his blue, onesie and the cape, red cape. Even the red underwear. Honestly, when you took away that underwear look, especially I think it was in Superman. It was the first of the new Superman movies, the ones where he's all angsty and whatnot. They took away the underwear, and that's what threw me off on the character. The red underwear is like almost, if you remove it, you make it blue like they did, it looks like he's fighting in just a onesie. I know it's dumb. Oh, I mean, he is fighting in a onesie. I mean, it looks like it's dumb and it's uncomfortable. I can't imagine the actors liked fighting in those scenes. Um, with that outfit, because I imagine, I mean, to quote, I think the second Spider-Man movie, maybe it was the third, where he's like, this thing really chafes. I mean, if you put on a onesie suit, it's gonna ride up and chafe, man. It's you try and go around fighting crime and that, it's gonna chafe. You're gonna be putting baby powder in that damn thing like crazy just to try and get the chafing down. Let's see here. Of course, I've been playing games as we've been doing on the live streams, gaming streams. We're doing Fallout. We've been doing Stardew. We're getting to a point, though, like I said before on the gaming stream yesterday, particularly. We're getting to an end point with Stardew. All that's pretty much left is to marry a character. I did play up to a point, or play up to the new year for the stream for Wednesday. But I think we're at the point next stream we will marry a character. We got the island unlocked. We're going to be trying to deal with the island and get through the volcano, but we're going to marry a character next stream. And then we'll probably do things. And I'm shooting for, if you caught the stream, I mean, we've been debating on what character to do for a while. Since it is the expanded, we've done Sophie. We've got Sophie up to max, Sophia up to max, so we could do Sophia's. We could also, I got Victor up to max as well, so we could do Victor, but I still have to do his cutscene, final cutscene. And I've almost got the Wizard up to max. So it's a debate right now between Victor and the Wizard, because the Wizard, while he was canon character, his content was not a canon character, or his added content was not, and they put a lot of content with the Wizard. And the third year, he's going to start getting an assistant. So it'll be interesting to see which we go with. I haven't fully decided. We also have Olivia, I think, is almost max, and I want to do make it a character from the stream. I mean, we also have Claire. Claire was the first one we came up to max in the game. She was actually our first best friend in the game. So, I mean, they're all additional characters, and they're all dateable additional characters. So, I do need to really raise my relationship with a few of the other characters, especially canon ones, but we're doing pretty well there. Uh, let's see. We want to. I think the pattern is. It kind of looks like it's. If I were to draw out the body here. So if we were having the body here, I think the pattern they were going for is kind of like across this side of the body. And then it's black on this side, or dark on this side, dark on this side, and then white on this side. Or in the case we're doing, it's going to be blue versus red. I think that's what they were going for. We don't have an exact, because of the way the drawing is, I don't have an exact feel for it. But I think that's what we're going to go with. So it's going to be kind of like this to this to this. That foot versus that foot is major difference. Night and day difference. It's like almost freaking far away. And now I'm seeing it. I am really, really not liking it. This foot is way too small compared to that foot. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that. We can fix that. That's not a problem. So we're going to go there to there. I'm just going to do a little segment right here to here to there. I think that looks a little bit better. It's still small, but I mean, it gives an illusion that it's a bit further away. Now, I don't know. Something's bugging me about this. I know it's the perspective is kind of wonky on her, but something's bugging me a bit on this. But there are times that you just have to say, yeah, screw it, I'll go with it. And we'll just go with the wonky perspective. We're going to try and do her hair a bit fancy. So let's do a small part. It goes in here. And we'll do semi ponytail in the back. Sort of this, well, crap. How do we want to do the hair? And the hair that we can see on the character is this floppy, sort of almost straight hair. So, I mean, we're going to kind of work with that. I want to put some sort of characteristic to the hair, though. And the reason being is the character is pretty generic right now. We want some characteristic in this. And I don't know if it's based off of a real person. I don't know what the original creator's concept was. for the character, and darn it. All right, we're gonna have to do this because we've done this on the wrong layer again, and we got to fix this here. Okay, right there. Okay. All right. Foot's still bothering me. I know that thing's huge and that thing's not. And that's what bothers me. I might have to make it a bit bigger in the back still. Even at the pedal size, I mean, it's bugging me to all heck to do that. So let's have the leg go down. We can kind of see it over there, so let's have it. Well, hold on, that's clear. Down here. The shoe come over here. And over here. Fatten that up a little bit there. Heel go over there. That's better. That's better. It's not 100% better, but it's something to change it a little bit. And using the concept we see here, and her foot here still is, while it's smaller, it's still more prominent. Here it's almost still, it's maybe about a few centimeters smaller. Here it's a lot different, but and it's a drawing. I don't want to do too much more with the foot because we don't want that to be too dominating of a point in this drawing. Let's just focus a bit here. Bring that line down, over and up. We'll just erase this line here, clean this up right here. I am tempted to kind of, on their gaming stream, to do a Halloween-esque game, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't have one, and I don't have much in the way of credit on Steam right now. So, unless there's a cheap game or a free game that somebody can suggest for streaming, it has to be for streaming. There's a game I would have loved to play and show off on our gaming, but I can't because of not because of copyright, because I can easily get the copyright from the person who made it, but because of what would ban me on YouTube for, because it is very much an adult game. It's a well-written game, a well-played game. It's parody out the wazoo, so it's funny, but it's also got adult situations that would not make it appropriate for Twitch or YouTube. And would get me banned instantly. Let's fix the pipe a bit here. And then we'll start doing some color work on here. Now, I didn't ever get an idea what the person wanted with color for their hair. And they told me primarily they wanted blue and red for this drawing. So we're going to make the character have a lot of blues and reds in the drawing. I'm going to go ahead and hide the unicycle. Let's not hide the original. Let's hide that for right now. Just so, because we don't need them as a distraction. The original I will move down so I'm not seeing a line that's not there on the character. Though, okay, and that dot's also on that sheet, okay. Let's go ahead and do a merge. So we're going to merge the layers we broke up, we're going to now merge together. And actually, I've got a few spots that I need to fix, so that I just noticed after I hit the merge. I can still do it, but I'll have to fix any line that gets erased too deeply, like there. So we just erase these lines here. And there we go. All right. Now let's think of colors. They wanted red and blues. So first off, when I think of reds and blues, I think of this color red. So I'm just gonna set these off to the side as sort of swatches to work from. This color blue. But I'm thinking because it's darker, we're gonna go with a darker blue. Here. And maybe a lighter red at times. Typically when I design a character and I'm just given the basis of a character design, say like make the character have this kind of body and whatnot, then I got to think out the colors. I'll choose different swatches and go work from there, and then I'll play them out. Like, we're going to have to figure out her skin tone here. We're going to have to figure out her hair color. Her eyes, I'm going to make blue. Since we're given blue, we're going to go with blue for the eyes. I think the hair, I'm also going to go blue. I know it shows light. Well, maybe I'll do a red, a pinkish red or something like that. And she's almost jester. I mean, she is a jester, it looks like. She's pretty much a jester. The tire is going to be black, or this grayish black here. So let's do that. Like the bike reference that we're using, we're going to have a blue on the inside. And we're going to have silver, but I'm going to use this French gray that we have here, which is sort of a bluish gray, to touch up on the metal parts. So this part here, this part here. And if you note, I'm not doing anything with the shading. I'm just trying to get a solid color to go from on that spot. So, I mean, we will go back and do shadows, we'll do highlights, and what we'll do is we'll take these colors that we're putting in, and we'll set up a highlight or a shadow based off the palettes that we put down. I want to repeat the black I used for the tire for the pedals. And then we're going to go this darker blue for the outfit in certain areas. Let's see here. So right here. I'm going to say even our shoes need to be blue. Hold on. And then we'll do the red pinkish highlight here. I had shoes that kind of had that look to them. They were a little more towards the black end of things. But they had the pinkish highlight. So let's go with, well, let's finish the bike here. I'm going to use an actual black here on the bottom here because I want this to be pure black here. So we can have a little bit of a difference when I put in a gray. Dang it. What's that spot? Okay. Now, her hair and her eyes. So her eyes, we're going to start with this dark blue. And then we're going to go to this lighter blue. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to take that layer of paint that we have, select the area. Hey, Caliburn 13, what's going on? How you doing today? Let's see here. We're going to add a little bit of an airbrush in here. To bring a highlight into her eye. And because she's gestures, we're making her happy. I want to have a lot of light show up to the eye. With this image. So, I mean, a joyous character. We're going to do it. I'm going to just do a little bit of a pupil here. And we're going to go even smaller to do a highlight. Actually, let's undo those pupils and let's do it a little more solidly with a smaller tip here. Those were like 50. Let's do them at 16. There we go. Been doing fine. Been kind of slow day. How have you been? I've been a little sick. Part of my problem as of late has been because of I hadn't been able to get some medication that I usually have. So I've not been sleeping well. So if you heard me on Thursday's stream, when I was doing the story time, you could hear how tired I felt. I've literally snapped 3 times today, and I just came back from having dinner with folks, and I fell asleep after I came back home here to doing the stream because I just am sleeping in spurts because the medication I have helps me sleep, and because I've not had it, it doesn't help me sleep. I'm slowly getting back to the part of me that would last on 4 hours a day of sleep. But at the same time, I'm much older and I don't have the energy to do it anymore. It used to be a benefit. Now it's a curse to not sleep. We're gonna just take this brush tip and go on here. Other than that, I've been fairly okay. And it's just been that. It's been allergies. Um, I've been trying to deal with life issues as per usual, as everybody else does. Still trying to find work for a real job. Trying to watch anime as best I can, do artwork, read books, um, read manga. I finished, or I've caught up to a Gretzky or Gretzka. I think it's a Gretzky triangle. Love the detailed work on the eyes. Thank you. I try to put in the details if I can. Since I've got a while left on this stream, we're gonna be able to do that. Since she's gonna be a redhead, I could either go pale on the skin tone, so this would be a pale, which I tend to do with Tetsu a lot, or I could go darker on the skin tone. I kind of want to go darker with her on this one. Kind of want to go darker. I'm not going to go as dark there. I think I'll go this color dark. And then we'll work on a shadow from outward. Working from black and white always kind of sort of leaves you those kind of ideas, whatnot. What level of red? We don't know. It's very, the black and white drawing is she doesn't have a color to her. It's white, so I'm guessing it's gonna be a very light red, almost a pinkish color. But I don't want to conflict with the pink of her outfit here. So I'm almost tempted to go a little bit of an orangey red head. Something a little bit more along the lines of this color spectrum. So, I mean, this is why I use swatches instead of just sort of randomly choosing stuff on the color swatch or going through the wheel or here, where I could be like, okay, I want to go this way. The swatches for me are a good starting point, and we can alter from there. That's the main reason I do these swatches. I know which colors on the swatches are uniformly for my characters as I draw them. Might have to do more of an intense red too. Want to kind of have her skin show. So she's not got tights on. It looks like she's bare-legged. At least from the brief bit of what looks like legs on there. Makes sense, compare and contrast. Darker red like Akushi Uzumaki. Naruto and Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail. Yeah, I mean, I could go the darker red. Uh, I could absolutely go darker red with her. And I mean, the person making the request wanted just red and blue, or just said red and blue. So they didn't give me color for their hair. I was gonna go with the blue for the eyes because it's pretty typical. But yeah, the darker red might work here. So I mean, that's kind of around the lines of Urza's hair color. It's been a while since I've seen Kushina Uzumaki and her color red. Simply because she's a briefly shown character in the series. I am tempted to rewatch Naruto all the way through Shippuden, so I can say I've watched all of it. I'm not going to bother with Boruto, but I think I'm going to do that after I finish Rama 1/2. Or as some people say, Rama half. Um, let's finish her mouth here. I got her lip going here. Let's see. That is too big of a stroke. I did just get a notification on Funimation's app. Kushina is around that, but strangely paler, if it makes sense. Yeah, I kind of, like I said, I don't recall her too much. And I've more saw her in the manga than I did in the anime because I didn't watch really at the anime at that point. Um, but I mean, I have seen it or elements of it since then. I know the animation kind of went downhill after the pain fight, is what I've been heard. Um, but I mean, I read the manga, of course, because I had the Shonen Jump app to go through, and I was reading Shonen Jump constantly. But yeah, no, I got on today. I got a notification that Funimation added Jujutsu Kaisen, which goes to tell me I think they're finally getting to the point where Crunchyroll's dubs stuff like Konosuba, Jujutsu Kaisen, uh, I'm a Spider, so what? All that is going to be coming to the Funimation app because they're now both owned by the same company. I would be not surprised to hear by next year that Crunchyroll is no longer going to be a thing, or that there's a new app that combines the two. I know they said they weren't going to do it, but I think they're going to do it. Let's choose a darker tone for her hair, her skin to do shadows. So one, I'm going to do a shadow, neck shadow, and then I'll do a lighter shadow between them, sort of medium shadow. So we're going to do a neck shadow right there. Then we'll get something a little bit in between right there. I do see some spots that the fill did not fill in. To be fair, after the Pain anime had a lot of filler, so it makes sense the animation suffered. I'm not surprised if it had filler. That's one of the things I'm gonna. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it like I did with One Piece, watching up through the dub. I mean, I've watched One Piece several times, but at the same time, I was like, okay, if it's filler, with exception of the G5 arc, or G7 or whatever that arc was, I skipped it. I was just like, it's filler, I'm skipping. So I'm probably going to do the same since it's on streaming with Naruto. Um, I did finish Black Clover. I will say that. It's an interesting ending point for the anime. The manga is, of course, still going. But they finally got to the end of Black Clover on Funimation's app. So I did finally watch the end of that. And yeah, it didn't leave me feeling like I really wanted to watch more. Um, it's sad, but yeah, I mean, it's goes to show that anime burnout is excuse me. Anime burnout is definitely a thing. G8, okay. Watch the original Sailor Moon anime. There was also filler episodes. Yeah, I mean, I own it. I own it on DVD, honestly. Official DVDs. And not the Viz release. I have the rare ADV release of the Sailor Moon anime. Which has all the unedited episodes. And my god, is there a lot of filler in that series. I've also been trying to watch Crystal on Netflix, and I'm right now, I've just gotten to the end of the Dark Moon saga, and we're getting on to the, what is it, Flying Circuit, whatever the Outer Sailors arc is. I forget what it's called. And I'll discuss a bit more about my history with Sailor Moon. I actually will do that on a live stream for the Embry Arts anniversary, because I've got a fan fiction that started Embry Arts. So the website embryarts.com got started on a Sailor Moon fan fiction. And I will probably tell a bit of the story on that. That's going to be a long ass stream. I'm already planning it. It's not until December. I don't know what's going to be going on, but it's a Saturday, and I'm going to plan that day to be a long one. And I'm probably going to be drawing a comic during that stream, because it's one of the things that a lot of people have been requesting. Me do on a stream, so I think I'll do it for a special for the anniversary. I will do it live as a comic. But I'll also discuss all about the series that I did with Sailor Moon. Infinity Arc is the third arc of the okay, so the Infinity Arc. Okay. I liked it. I mean, I remember watching and I have to say, a lot of people give crap to DIC, Dick, for the kissing cousins. It wasn't Dick. People need to get it straight. It wasn't Dick that did it. It was a company called Cloverfield, because that was a strictly Toonami release. And when they did it, the Toonami release, Cloverfield took over what DIC did not. And they were the ones to do the kissing cousins. So that whole kissing cousins is Cloverfield's problem. They're the ones that did the problem. Given DIC did a lot of bad edits, but they kept in some good ones. I mean, honestly, what made me love it? Or Clover Way. Okay, Clover Way, my mistake. But yeah, it's a lot of people poo-poo on DIC for it, and I can't give DIC the full negativity of that series on that. And it's still nowhere near One Piece level of editing that 4Kids did. Because my god, did they horribly edit One Piece. and I'm glad that Toei basically chewed them the hell out. And that's kind of why Toei has their way of being the way they are these days. Let's see, we have that shadow is what we're going to do for some of these areas. So we're going to hit a shadow right here. Kind of miss. Oh, Deke. Okay, it's called Deke. Well, I'll still call him Dick because. But yeah, kind of miss random nonsense that was Bobobo. You can get it now. Discotech has the rights to the discs of Bobobo, but it is still, I think, a very costly pickup. And I do wish that somebody put that out on streaming. I don't know if it's on streaming on Crunchyroll. I've never really looked. That they would be the only ones I could see putting out Bobobo. I loved Bobobo myself. It was stupid. It was nonsense. But hearing Richard Epcar just being complete, just stupidity as he was with Bobobo's voice, and that was hilarious. I remember how One Piece was for kids on Toonami until the start of Skypiea arc, which started surprised the heck out of me. I was surprised when One Piece went and had for Skypiea as well. I was like, wait a second, it's coming back and there's more series. It's like, are they still doing 4 kids? Because at that point I had started picking up the manga and reading it more frequently, and I was like, what? Because I know when One Piece initially came out on 4Kids, it had just come out. The Shonen Jump book just came out in America, right as the time 4Kids was getting it. And I loved Naruto and I loved One Piece from the first issue of Shonen Jump. And then the app didn't come out until, gosh, 2015 or so, where they were finally catching up to the series. So, I mean, the fact that I had to I had to go on fan sites to read manga, which it's not a bad thing. I'm not going to poo-poo fan sites completely, but you can tell when somebody misreads something. And I was watching a YouTuber on My Hero this week go on about My Hero, and they were clearly reading the fan subs because it was a different phrasing of the words from the book that it was in the manga. That I could pick up the Shonen Jump app and be like, nope. And I don't have much of a... With Shonen Jump as it is, being $2, I really don't have much of a concept of why people are still going to fan sites and fan subs or fan copies of the Shonen Jump titles, because you can still get them for cheap and read all of them for cheap in somewhat proper translations. Viz still has the Zolo thing, which is annoying, but that was a bad editor from the get-go. But a lot of fans won't forgive him for that. It is something that they should go around and fix because it is Roronoa Zoro. It appears that way in the manga, in Oda's own handwriting. So it needs to be Zoro, not Zolo. I kind of brought this up before. I mean, Netflix is also doing what is it? Shaman King, and Shaman King was a 4Kids one, and I feel 4Kids did a better job with Shaman King than they did with One Piece. Yeah, the Zoro thing. mainly because I find better translations on other sites. Recently, what happened in One Piece was Zoro and King. I mean, I can say that, but at the same time, I have to give credit to Steve, who does the translations of One Piece. He actually talks to Oda's people. So, I mean, you got a fan interpretation, and then you have somebody who actually talks to Oda's people as to what they want it to be represented. So I gotta give a nod to Steve on that. He actually does a good job with it. Um, it's previous editors and previous translators that have screwed up One Piece from the Viz releases, but Steven, who does it now, it does a really good job of it. And if you don't know who he is, listen to One Piece podcast. I don't listen to it anymore because I really don't like how they've made everything into politics on there all the time. But Steven, the official translator, is on One Piece podcast every week. So you can actually catch him doing the official translation, and they'll read through it with you as a fan. I don't know why I'm doing that there. Okay. Go back and do some more of the strings here. Let's see. Of course, I'm also watching ghost stuff these days. Ghost shows, because it's Halloween. It's Halloween. So I'm watching cheesy ghost shows. Speaking of, let's see. Speaking of One Piece, later, the Four Kids national anthem. I don't know. Was later represented in Four. Yeah. The Four Kids. I mean, people have done hilarious Four Kids spoofs of raps. And I think there was one I listened to the other day. It was if Four Kids had gotten Evangelion. And you hear the Four Kids opening treatment they did to One Piece to Evangelion. And what made me just on the floor laughing was Shinji got a robot on his birthday and they were living in New Orleans. That just made me laugh my ass off. Because if you watch that series, or if you read the stories, Ava is fucking... Shinji just gets shit on. And he doesn't get any better. He just keeps getting shit on through the series. And especially if you watch the movies that it came out. Prime has them now. The newest one that ends the series. It does end the series. And it just... Shinji, to me, having watched those movies, it's made me basically glad the series is kind of over. But also, I kind of feel like he and his dad deserve the shit they get in that series. Because Shinji he causes third impact. Spoilers, but he causes third impact. Shinji causes third impact. And he causes it because he's being a brat. Also, in an anime-related news, the exclusive use of CGI in upcoming Dragon Ball Super movie. I have not seen anything about that. I've been trying to watch through Super. I think I'm just about done with the first battle that Fat Cat God, I don't even remember the cat god's name, but the Fat Cat God's the first battle they're having. I know that because the only reason I know it's a first battle is because we don't have the other Saiyans. We just have the scrawny kid Saiyan that got his butt whooped by Vegeta to teach him a lesson on what it means to be a Saiyan. and I haven't even gotten to the assassin that is been built up. So I'm on that fight, and I haven't picked it back up since. I've literally been going through other series in its place. I'm. This is kind of a mess in laces, but I want to kind of give this feel. Ah, Champa, yeah, Champa, the fat cat. That just wants to destroy the world by bringing in these Super Dragon Ball, which is just worlds. I mean, I don't really have an opinion of Super, honestly. I mean, it's kind of just there. It's not an anime that I really try to acknowledge that much because I don't feel Super is really part of Dragon Ball. I think I just feel like that. I don't know why I feel like that. I know it's part of Dragon Ball, but I just don't feel like it is part. It just feels like if you never stopped the series when it should have, it went on. But at the same time, I kind of want to see Goku just screw off and let somebody else take over the mantle for a while. Let Gohan do it. But Gohan's become, I mean, in Super, Gohan's just complete. They make excuses for why Gohan won't fight. Um, and they're like, oh, well, he's weakened because he's not done anything. Except for in the past, they said if a Saiyan gets stronger by each fight, they fight in. So he hasn't forgotten it. He's rusty. But I mean, he's rusty enough, or he should still have the power. I mean, he beat Cell, and that was what made Cell good, or I mean, made the Cell Saga game good. And part of me wants to see Devil Artemis come back with the link in with Super for some reason. I want to see Devil Artemis's Cell come in and just have Kermit there. I do enjoy Devil Artemis's Cell games. If you don't watch them, check them out. Honestly, they're a riot. He does an amazing job with the CG in there. Um, an amazing job with the voices too. I mean, he does a pitch perfect Kermit in my opinion. Um, and they literally, I think they just dropped a episode today that finally explained how Cell and Kermit came to meet, and it was hilarious. But I mean, there's a couple things I've been. I mean, I started Seven Deadly Sins final season or latest season literally when I was in the bath the other day because I wanted something on the background while I was working, and I'm lost. First episode, I'm lost. I'm like, what happened? It's been years. I don't recall any of this, and I don't really care that much. So it's like, I don't know if I want to continue this. It wasn't good last season. Why should I come back to this and care? Um, so I don't know if I'm going to continue with Seven Deadly Sins either. Uh, Super, I'll probably continue because it's Super, and a lot of people will give me references to characters in that to draw. Now and then they'll be like, "Oh, I want Califa." Oh, I haven't gotten to the point where Califa appears. So I mean, it's important for me to know that their characters in the series, but yeah, and it's kind of like I said, it's kind of like me with Seven Deadly Sins. I just it's a chore for me to sit there and watch them. It's just why I prefer them in dub, because that way I can zone them out. I'd be like, oh, they're speaking and this, and oh, that's what's going on and whatnot. I kind of goofed there with the pink. Let's see here. Let's go with that. I think I'll be the same with Bleach, with the new Bleach season coming out. I know of the arc. I don't think I really care for it. I will definitely be checking out Chainsaw Man. I need to check out. I know Comey dropped. The first episode of Comey dropped. I have not watched it yet. I didn't know it was in English, but I guess it may be in English somewhere. Of some sort. Because that's been the one I've been waiting for this season. Of course, I'm waiting for Konosuba Season 3 and Shield Hero, but those are both coming, I think, next year. And there's also the final episodes of Attack on Titan, and I don't know if I care enough for that either. Even though I have friends in the series, I don't know if I'd sit there and watch it too much, or give a darn to watch it. I mean, it's pretty much, to me, the major event was, where was Aaron going to fall on that? And he turned the route of, I just want to be the badass that tells you all to screw off with the Titans. And part of me would have liked it better if they just kept the transformation of Titans done, and Aaron didn't get the power. I would have liked probably the series better that way, where it was just those Titans and you never knew why they came to be or how they came to be, and that weird medical transformation thing that they do. Religious medical transformation bull crap. All right, we're kind of finishing her up now, because we're gonna get to the end point here of this stream. I can also feel my energy kicking in now because of the caffeine from the cocoa. But we're definitely getting to the point. I do want to thank all for watching and tuning in and chatting. As always, if you have a request, you can put it in, and we'll be happy to add it to our list for Dining and Doodles each and every week. We come in here, we do a request, we put on the art. Even if we don't have a request, I'll put something up. We're also doing something similar with Storytime on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where if you have a story you want read, we will do it on the live stream. This week, by request, I'm going to be doing some Demon Blade stories. I'm going to be doing Demon Blade scripts. After this, it'll be halfway through your request list. Well, I'm almost halfway through the request list of Drawtober. I am not halfway through the request list of Dining and Doodles because I keep getting new ones almost each day now. And we're filling it up pretty quickly. Damon Trend, and it is actually we're getting more and more attention for the art streams, and I'm loving that. And I thank everybody for doing it. Please make sure you're liking, commenting on these because it helps YouTube algorithm. It helps with the other algorithms. And it helps get the name out. And the story streams are also. I mean, if you have a story you want read, I'll be happy to read it. I will. If you don't want me to comment on it, I'll put a notice like don't comment on it. Just read it. Like okay. And we won't do comments on it. But I did get good notice from the person who did contribute last time with the stream. With their story. We're going to be doing some more of my own work, which is Demon Blade next week. Script-wise, I do write them in script, so I will try not to use the characters' names as I work, but I will try to do personalities as I work on those. And I think next week we may have a request on the Dining and Doodles list that is not an original character, so it'd be a actual character request or drawing down the list. So it'll be something different. Gaming streams again will be Fallout for Monday and Friday, and Stardew on Wednesday. So we're going to keep doing that at least for this week, and I will see about getting in something probably Halloween-esque for the end of the month for gaming. Other than that, we are doing Drawtober. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I am almost halfway through Drawtober. Doing those requests. I am literally about to start 14. I've started 15. I've got 15. In fact, you can see them right here on the stream. This is 14. This is 13. There's 13. I haven't colored it in. So, I mean, I've got to finish that up, and then I've got to do 14, which is the professor from Sword and Shield. So, we will be seeing her done on the 15th. So, I mean, I am working as fast as I can on those. I am slowly getting off of this med that makes me sleepy. So, I will probably be more and more awake more often to do artwork. Which hopefully will progress into actually being good artwork. But we will see. But as always, I want to thank everybody for joining in, and we're going to do our sponsor shout out. So, as always, our sponsorship is Built Bar. I've eaten, in fact, one of these mint bars right here on the stream. On the lower half, I've eaten one of those this morning. I was basically all I had today was a smoothie, a Built Bar, and then some what were they? Pupusas for dinner with family. So I mean that's all I've eaten today is some pupusas, a smoothie, and a Built Bar, and that Built Bar carried me over through most of the day. It was delicious. It had a nice minty it's a mint brownie. It's a nice mint flavor, deep rich chocolate. And the thing is it was low sugar, low fat, low carb, and low calorie, and it is delicious. And that is the key. They focus on the flavor first on all their candies. They are good replacements they're good protein bars, but they're also good replacements for candy bars. So if you have a candy craving and you need to cut down on that sugar, they are a good replacement. So that is Built Bar. If you go to built.com and use the promo code EmbryoArts, you will get 10% off your order. That's built.com, promo code EmbryoArts. And I thank them for being a sponsor. I requested them personally to be a sponsor simply because I love their product and I wanted to share their product with others. And for that, that brings us to the end of the stream this week. Again, I want to thank certain people here. I want to thank our two chatters here, Damien Tran and Caliburn13. I want to also thank the person who put in this request, which was Jet David on DeviantArt. I want to thank him for the request today for our unicycle girl stream character, which is right here. Pull her back up. So I will be posting that artwork soon on this website, as well as the video locking into this. And if you have a request for art or for stories, please leave a comment below or message me through social messages. I will glad to add them to the collection of the list. And please like, comment, subscribe. If you do have some money and want to support me, I do have a Patreon at Embry. Well, it's actually not at Embry Arts, but it's patreon.com Demon Blade, based off of my comic series. Patreons get bonus art done by their request, and they get full-on comics by their request. So, and they also get to see all work early. So if you want to be a Patreon sponsor, go to patreon.com/demonblade, and you can become a Patreon sponsor there. Until then, next week I will see you again for a new stream and a new request in art. Have a good day, have a good evening, and have a good week.